Hello everyone, we are Motus Nova. My name is David Wu. I am the CEO and founder, and I'm sorry I couldn't be with you today. Hopefully today we'll get a little bit of introduction to what we do. The problem we're trying to address is that physical therapy is too expensive and too slow for millions of Americans who have some kind of physical impairment. They depend on physical therapy to get better and to get their lives back. So our solution is to combine an exoskeleton with artificial intelligence to create a robotic physical therapist, one that could provide faster and more affordable recovery by combining technology, engineering, and medicine. Our device, the Motus Hand Mentor and Foot Mentor, is backed by a decade of clinical research with multiple peer-reviewed clinical trial publications. The largest clinical study was a randomized controlled trial conducted at Emory University and the Cleveland Clinic, where the device was shown to be just as effective for stroke survivors as one-on-one with a physical therapist. So our device is an FDA-cleared Class 1 device, medical device, for both the upper and lower extremity. And in fact, it's the only in-home FDA-cleared robotic device for stroke rehabilitation. Home use is really the key to increasing the dosage of therapy and thus recovery. Well, unfortunately, stroke is one of the most common diseases in the world. About 7 million Americans live with chronic stroke. That means some kind of lasting disability from their stroke. There are about 800,000 new cases per year. In fact, the lifetime risk of stroke is about 1 in 4, according to the New England Journal of Medicine. So if you look around you at 3 other people, statistically speaking, one of the 4 of you will have a stroke in your lifetime. There's a massive clinical labor shortage in the physical therapy and occupational therapy space. We really believe that robotics needs to step in to fill this gap. Now we have a short clip from one of our users.
While I was at the hospital, I'd gone in to do a couple surgeries on patients of mine, got off the elevator and hit the floor having sustained a stroke. The next time I woke up, I looked around, I was in my ICU. I looked around and said, oh boy, I really recognize this room. And I looked down on myself and I realized that I was the patient. So my name is Dan Schlatter. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at a trauma center in downtown Atlanta, who unfortunately, a little over 2 years ago at the age of 48, had a stroke. I mean, I was surprised because I was really healthy before then. I was running 6.5-minute miles. So the stroke itself turned my life upside down, honestly. All of a sudden, I couldn't do a lot of things. Walk. I mean, my speech was good, but couldn't really use anything on my left side was semi-disabled. I guess there was not really a barrier, but another challenge was the financial part of paying for all this and meeting my deductibles and that sort of thing. Because a lot of therapy I went to was charged by the hour. Of course, I wasn't working, but that's the way it goes. Really, the biggest thing is trying to transition a lot of this rehab to a home setting. I was losing a lot of time traveling around the city, going to my appointments. So it was really about trying to get as much at home as I could. The thing I liked most about it is that there was a place for me to rest my fingers and to have some tactile feedback, and that I think really facilitated my progress because I was grabbing a hold of something and it seemed like a more functional position to my hand and my fingers. So it made sense. There's a lot of things that people have asked me to do over the years of therapy that really didn't make sense, and this seems to fit what I was trying to recover in terms of my own function. I've seen improvement in my wrist motion since I started this. My hand wants to move. I can tell my mind it wants to move, but it wants something in my hand to trigger that. Hey, I'm a doctor and I've tried pretty much everything. I can tell you this has helped and made a difference. And it just made a lot of sense because it incorporates the visual feedback. And I knew that would be sort of double duty on my mind. I really like the games, and the visual part is very engaging, so the therapy time, practically it's not boring at all. Some of the games are similar to other games that I've probably played in my youth. The games are very motivating for me, because in the beginning I'll try a few and struggle, and then I'll try it again the next day, so every day is a new game, a new challenge. I like the games. Personally, I really didn't have any barriers because the unit itself is so easy to put on with the Velcro straps. It's all user-friendly, it makes sense and it flows. So you just press if you want an activity and just go through the prompts. So that makes it very easy. There's not pages and pages of instructions or anything to assemble. You plug it in and you go. That's the beauty of it. I think anyone who likes to be challenged by something that's visual would enjoy this. So it would apply to anybody with a stroke, honestly. On a percentage, I'm probably about 80% of the way since I do travel independently and I do drive. But I'm making steady progress and improvement. I will eventually operate again. I'll fix another femur, I know it.
I think one of the most exciting things about this project is that it's already helping people, is the immediate gratification of developing something that can help someone today. So that's just a little bit of a teaser of what we do here at Motus Nova. Our vision, our mission is to make robotic neural recovery accessible in every home. And I hope to see you and meet you at our additional information session, where we can also answer any of your questions and talk about the projects that we may have. We're fairly new to social media, but you could find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Motus Nova or Motus Nova LLC. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at woo_Dave and at David Woo Tech.